What's up, Pitbulls? Because in the last video we talked more about vehicles for which you have to sell your sister to afford them, today it's all about cars that you can get for less money. These cars are ideal for beginners or poor wretches who prefer to gamble their money away in the casinos. But since there are no losers in gambling, only winners and quitters, I have also thought of these people, and therefore I present you 7 reliable cars for under $5,000 today. Let's start with the Audi A3 8P. We are interested in the 1.6-liter naturally aspirated engine with timing belt and 4 cylinders. Not to be confused with the 1.6 FSI, which tends to have a problematic timing chain and is generally more susceptible. You will have fewer problems with the normal 1.6, as this engine is very robust. If you don't want to do without the 4 cock rings at the front, this is the best option. As such, an A3 is already available from $3,500 in good condition. A model from September 2005 onwards is all the more recommendable, as the S-Line package, including daytime running lights, was available as equipment features from then onwards. Even if the car doesn't have this, it doesn't matter, as you can easily retrofit LED headlights for little money. In the first few years of production, you should watch out for rust, stained windshield, damper behavior on uneven roads, weak tailgate dampers, and the air conditioning. The A3 may not be the fastest, but it is affordable to maintain without selling your body. Overall, the Audi A3 is a reliable car for beginners, which I also drove for several years. However, if you're not a fan of the 4 cock rings, take a look at the Golf 6. The A3 is based on the Golf 6, which in turn is based on the Golf 5. So it would be wise to look for the same engine, the 1.6 naturally aspirated engine with timing belt. These are available in good condition for around $4,500. If the 102 horsepower and 1.6-liter displacement are too much for you, you can also throttle back your erection and take the 1.4 for the same money. This is the same engine, just smaller, but also with a timing belt and naturally aspirated. Logically, the engine is even slower, but it is cheap to maintain and reliable. The other engines felt like they were suffering from AIDS because they had massive timing chain problems, consumed oil like Lindsay Lohan cocaine, and were generally not particularly reliable because they were constantly in the workshop. The Golf 6 can have problems with the air conditioning, fogged headlights, and a rattling noise when idling. The Golf 6 can also be retrofitted with serious-looking LED head and rear lights. They are easy to install, look dope, and enhance the vehicle enormously. Subtle lowering and track widening would also look cool, but it's not really necessary. Many Golf owners tend to overdo it because they try to turn it into a Lambo. In most cases, this is cheap tuning and looks like a Fiat Multipla. In addition, the car then exudes an enormous pedo vibe and is often spotted outside elementary schools, where the Golf driver picks up his girlfriend. In general, Golfs are very popular with young men with hair loss, and you should make sure that the car is not too tinkered with. Otherwise, you can hardly save yourself from prejudice. Many people worship a Golf as a deity, and convincing them that it's just a Golf is like arguing politics with green-haired Democrats. That's why it would be smarter not to customize it too much. This is also the perfect segue for the next vehicle. One of the few cars where you can do a bit of Need for Speed tuning without feeling ashamed or coming across like a crack-addicted idiot. We are talking about the Hyundai Coupe. You really do get a lot of car for the money. The shape is timeless. It has a large trunk for cardio exercises with your girlfriend, and the Korean looks from the factory as if it has already been fitted with a sports body kit. But above all, the car is reliable. Because we in the USA think that Asian vehicles are built on Chinese rice fields, their popularity is limited. The fact is, however, that many Asian vehicles are extremely reliable and robust. The Coupe underwent a facelift in 2005, and in most cases, you shouldn't expect more than normal wear and tear. Change the oil, change the spark plugs, change your underpants, and so on. In terms of cost, the Hyundai Coupe is available from as little as $3,000 in respectable condition. Let's move from Korea to Japan. Different country, same eyes. Okay, maybe that was a bit racist, but my Asian butcher who sells me the best dog meat said it is alright. I basically have the A-Pass. Anyways, the first-generation Lexus IS is a car that is often under the radar, but offers reliable quality for little money. Today we take a look at the 3-liter 6-cylinder. The 3-liter variant happens to be the 2JZGE engine, also known as the Toyota Supra engine. Unfortunately, the erection here is limited, as it is only a naturally aspirated variant. The turbo version, where you can easily get 1,000 horsepower, is only possible with expensive conversions. Apart from wear and tear, you will rarely have problems here because Toyota builds its cars to last. And what works will be retained. Other manufacturers, on the other hand, always have to reinvent the wheel and wonder why it doesn't work as it should in the end. Vehicles are already available for less than $3,000, but as the car is relatively rare in comparison, $4,000 to $5,000 is more realistic. Because not everyone likes Asian cars, we now come to a car that immediately raises your testosterone level. In my opinion, the BMW 5 Series E39 looks badass and is a perfect 20-year-old car. To summarize, it's a car that's probably older than you are, has classic car potential, and makes a great project car. If someone tells you that the 5 Series isn't a beginner's car, they're just a hater and don't have a clue about life anyway. You can always go for the weakest model, the 520i. It has 6 cylinders, and if you replace a few parts, such as the thermostat, coolant hoses, vanos, ignition coils, crankcase ventilation, and mass airflow sensor, the engine will actually run forever. The equipment is not so important. More important are LED angel eyes to make the BMW look as angry as my ex-girlfriend after she caught me in bed with her male best friend, where I checked if he really was gay. He was indeed. Well, shit happens. Anyways, you can retrofit an original navigation system with all the modern features. You can then use it to stream music and watch documentaries about intercourse. You can also invest in chrome rims, a different exhaust system, and tinted windows to round off the badass appearance of your E39. This is more worthwhile than donating money for nonsense like stop oil. You can get the BMW in decent condition for as little as $3,500. For the idiots who think that the vehicles have too much kilometers on the clock and are therefore unusable, I recommend a Dacia. We're talking about cars for a small budget that even beginners can afford and that don't demand more money than you have available per month. But we still don't want to be spat at. So let's continue with the Mercedes W203. This C-Class is ideal for people who want to boost their ego with the Mercedes star on the steering wheel. I would recommend the 220 CDI from the facelift onwards, as this engine will run forever as long as it is serviced regularly. When buying, pay particular attention to the timing chain, as it is only as thin as a bicycle chain and is prone to causing problems. The first models start at $3,000. With today's budget, that still leaves you a few $100s for small repairs and decent rims that won't get you laughed at when you are driving past a group of chicks. Last but not least, we have the 6th generation Honda Civic. Here you can choose whether you prefer the sedan or the coupe. This car was built from 1995 to 2000, but I recommend looking for one from 1999 onwards, as the Civic received a facelift here. This included a new grille, new headlights, a new front bumper, fenders and hood, and redesigned tail lights. Minor problems were also rectified. All in all, this car is reliable, and by placing a laptop clearly visible on the passenger seat, you can scare every sports car owner when they arrogantly pull up next to you at a red light. They don't need to know that you only have 106 horsepower and that your laptop only has your cousin's nudes on it. Pitbulls. That brings us to the end of this verbal orgy. Leave me a like and subscribe to this channel to really tickle the algorithm's nutsack and make this video go viral. Share this sarcastic masterpiece with your cousin and activate the bell so you don't miss a thing in the future.